From Diamond Select Toys, we've got the Marvel Select Starforce Captain Marvel. Now, this is the movie Captain Marvel. Good old Carol Danvers herself here. If I did get that name right. There you go. A little bit better of a facial expression there. She looks a little bit bored, but I guess if you had all the power she has, there's really not much to be excited for. But what is to be excited for is this figure. And you'll look at all it comes with a alternate head here. We've got all these hands, man. We got 4 sets of hands. Counting the set that she comes with, that's 5 hands. That's a lot of hands. There is some fireworks and explosive type stuff, laser shit, whatever you want to call it, going on in the background. We'll tear it out and find out what it is in a second. We've got our cat, which is probably worth the purchase alone. And then we've got a black stand. There is a picture there of Miss Brie, was it Brie Larson? Brie Olsen? Brie Larson, what's her name? Either way, she's hot. She looks pissed. There she is on the side. Good stuff. And on the back, we've got all these action shots over here. We've got a display of the figure here out of the package, which we're about to get it out of the package ourselves and find out all about it. And let's do that right now. Before we even get to the figure itself, let's take a quick gander here at all these hands, shall we? If I can get a good light on them here. I mean, we probably don't need to go over every particular hand set she has here, but you will notice that she has a hand for basically every occasion. There's an open one, you know, we get to come in focus here. Hopefully it will. There it is. We got that hand. We have more of a grip hand here, and probably the only other ones you're going to really want to use besides like what comes with it, comes on her I should say, is probably this fist, because that's kind of like good for the flying motion. We'll strap these on here in a minute. She's got the black stand for just displaying her. She's got this that you can put together and give her the flying in the air motion. She's got this thing, which I'm not particularly sure what that is. I don't really see anywhere for a hand to be holding it, which is weird because if you recall on the back of the pack, it showed her kind of like doing like a laser blast thing with it, but I'm not sure. But you can definitely stand her on top of it, or maybe have her taking lift off or something on it, whichever way you want to do it. Hell, you can do it any way you want to do it. There's no real right or wrong way to do it. Here's the alternate head, which that is really cool, I think. So if you don't like just the regular old Captain Marvel, you can go to that, and that is pretty cool. And maybe the coolest thing of all is this right here. I'm a fan of this little character right here. It's in one pose, one face, but hey, you know, it's the thought that counts, and you can at least say you've got it. It's like having a whole new character. It's like a 2-for-1 in some ways, having this in the package. And then that leads us to Captain Marvel herself. We've been over the face scan before, but we'll get a closer look at it there. Kind of no life look in her face. Maybe it's no nonsense. I don't know. The costume looks good, and this is the new style of Diamond Select Toys where everything moves. Got the double jointed knees. She's going to move up here in the torso. The waist don't move on her. Wrist movement, arm movement, shoulder movement. It's a good figure. I mean, it's a little stiff, which most of these seem to be when you first get them out of the pack, but can't really complain. It looks like her. It's great as far as sculpts go. Let's pop this head off here and let's put this one on, because this one just feels, I don't know, for some reason this one feels a little more appropriate in this setting. You get it on. Oh, it's rough. Okay, so either I suck or that head was extremely hard to clip on there, but I got it on there. Also went ahead and put the fist on. Maybe I need to put the fist down in there a little bit better, but there's the fist on there. There she is. You can see her in her flying motion now. We can take this and we can clamp it either on a foot or a back and get like the full flying motion. Maybe do a combo of the two if you want. whichever way you feel about it. But even that, you've got a flying Captain Marvel. Or maybe you don't. There you go. There you have a distressed Captain Marvel. Nonetheless, I like the figure. I do. Look at that. It pops off there too. Everything pops off. Maybe you could do that. You could put this on that and make her fly even better. So everything seems to pop off pretty well. A little bit hard to get that head on there, but that's pretty cool like that. I think I'll go back to the other one though. But this is the new Captain Marvel from Diamond Select Toys. And as a bonus review here at the end, let's look at an older Marvel Select figure from Diamond Select Toys. And let's look at the original male Captain Marvel. You know, I said this was an older figure. It's like last year, so it's not really older, but nonetheless, it's the original Captain Marvel, or Marvel, if you will. And this is a Marvel Select from the Diamond Select Toys line. Got the cool art there on the side. On the back, you got your origin story there for him, if you'd like to pause for the cause and read that. Doesn't really have a lot of stuff with him, but this display, which that's still cool as well. There's the other ones in the line. More artwork for him. There's also an alternate version of him right there. So cool stuff, but we like to open everything around here, so let's take a minute and I'll tear this package open, which these are kind of harder to get into. It takes a little bit longer. And when we come back, we'll see how well he moves around and we'll see what his display is like. Like I said, not a whole lot of accessories with Captain Marvel, but he does have this big old display here, which is pretty big. You know, look at that thing. It's got a lot of detail to it, and it's cool for a little display stand. These look best, I think, when you set them up on somewhere and you set your figure in it, which is what I did with like the Danger Room from the X-Men ones and all that stuff. So I'll be doing the same with that. So while he doesn't have 45 hands and all that good stuff, he does have a pretty cool display stand, so we'll take that for sure. So Captain Marvel here has a lot of movements, but he doesn't have as many as the newer Diamond Select Toys does. One thing in particular you'll notice is different is the knees, whereas the new ones have like a double joint in the knees. He's got a single joint in the knee. One thing you'll also notice about Captain Marvel here is he's stiff, brother. Really stiff. You have to really work that out there. He bends around the waist, though. He does the splits. He's got the ball roll on the foot, or at least not the ball roll, but the movement in the ankle portion. All the other stuff you've come to like. A little stiff at first. Like I said, it's going to take a little bit of work to get him to move. But the figure is chiseled, and he is definitely chiseled in stone. Look at that. Look at all these muscles. He's got muscles on top of muscles. Look at that. Is that like a 12-pack? What's he got going on here? 24-pack? There's his face scan. Really cool stuff. Looks just like the comic book version of Captain Marvel, if you're familiar with that one. I'm vaguely familiar with it because when I used to read comic books a lot as a kid, like from now, you know, every now and then, he would pop in and be in other stuff. I don't think I actually ever had any Captain Marvel comic books, and I was a little bit thrown off originally when the new Captain Marvel was a woman because this was the only one I ever knew. Although I do say I'm way more of a fan of the newer version than this version. Probably a bigger fan of the action figure as well, but that's that Captain Marvel. This is this Captain Marvel. Both of which are available from Diamond Select Toys right now. Well, I don't know where you're going to get them right now because I don't think you can go to any stores at the moment due to this damn virus, but you could probably order it online and maybe it'll get to you in a relatively good time. I don't know. Ready for stuff to go back to normal. Ready for people to be able to go out and get figures like this when they want to. And they are cool. If you like Marvel, and I love Marvel, these are good. These are really good figures to add to the collection.